I talked to Doug a little while ago. I was in the car. I got a new job, and my daughter said, "Oh, my dad got a new job. He works for an AI company." And my daughter's friend said, "AI is stupid. I hate AI." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Why?" It's like it's going to take everybody's jobs. And it was. I think it's a real question. And so my brother wrote an article about my grandpa. So in the middle there's a Farmall tractor. If you've seen Napoleon Dynamite, my grandpa grew up outside of Preston, Idaho, in a little town called Weston, Idaho. He bought a ton of land one year and a tractor, and him and his brother farmed that for 24 hours a day for weeks. One of them would just milk the cows and do other things, and then they would just work on this tractor. And they were able to farm more than anyone else in the county, and anyone else in Idaho, for that matter, because they transformed how to use this. Oh, thank you. And so, will AI take our jobs? Yeah, some of them, they will, for sure. I think it'll more change, not replace a lot of jobs. And then I think it'll help us be more productive and efficient. So that's kind of my theory. There's a really good book, though, Mustafa Suleyman. If you haven't heard of him, he invented Google DeepMind before it got acquired by Google. Now he's his own AI company. He's an investor in our company. And this book is amazing. He tells why this is a tidal wave coming to destroy us all. The combination of biotech and AI. And he kind of has some frameworks here about how that can stop it. So he has a different view. He's very into it. But I think that's a really nice view to have. All right, so I'll go into Seek now. What is Seek? So Seek is, we're a natural language interface for data. Our founders, both named Sarah, both with an H, they work together. And one Sarah would ask the other Sarah, hey, one was the data scientist, the other was a sales rep. Hey, I need this thing. She's like, cool, I'll go write the SQL and give it back to her. Hey, I need this other thing. Okay, cool, I'll go write the SQL and go back. And she just got sick of answering her friend Sarah. So she went off, developed a company, did it for about a year in 2020, invited Sarah to come join her in 2021, and then they were raising money kind of last year in November, and this ChatGPT thing came out, and they were able to raise a ton of money very quickly. So they raised 10 million. I joined about 3 months ago, and basically what we're building is a way for you to ask in natural language data. So why is this important? It's called text to SQL, natural language to SQL. But basically why it's important is 20% of the world's data is in a structured database, and the only people that can access it write SQL. So that means who knows SQL here? I don't know. You got a few, all right? Do you like writing SQL? No, nobody likes writing SQL. So 2 benefits of this is it makes anyone that writes SQL about 40% more efficient within the first hour of writing it, and you can just write it and do it. And then the other thing is large language models like ChatGPT, they're great at predicting what's next in a string. And it's very amazing. But they're not good at math. And that's kind of this other problem. Yes, well, sure, maybe. But that's this other problem that they have to go fix. And so Seek, let's see if this works. All right, we have our own models. It's a system of models. It basically, it processes structured data. So that's what the company does. We were the first model a model built on our model was the first model to surpass 90% on, it's called Spider leaderboard. Yale does it. It's kind of third party, you got to go submit it. And so we just did that last month, which is great. So why now? So semantic parsers turn natural language into code. You might have heard of AI copilots, helps you write code faster. This is really interesting. Microsoft's doing an amazing job with this. It kind of went from 0 to 91% in the last 3 years. That's amazing. That's why this is working now. Now, when it looks at new code, it doesn't always do that. You need to learn from context. And so that's a lot of what our model does and why it does that way. So I have 20 seconds. So for example, if we ask what are the biggest home sales in Santa Cruz year over year, it would need to understand what does biggest mean, what's a home sale, what's like Santa Cruz, do we mean the county, do we mean the city limits, all that type of stuff. All right, I'm gonna mess this up again. Sorry, Doug. Now, this is me doing it. If it's already done it, we have a human in the loop because we want everything to be perfect. That's how it learns, but eventually that's what it does. So why am I excited about this? I worked for a company called MySQL. That was my first job out of college. It's an open source database that ran everything for a long time. Now Postgres is better. That's great. But for me, like I never learned SQL. I did marketing, lots of other things, and for me, like then I worked for Looker here in town, also a very big data company. Worked for a Datamare, it was a Hadoop thing. If you don't have to know about that, it stored a lot of data, all these things. I've never learned SQL because I had people that were better at it than me. Now I can go do my own. I don't even talk to anyone. I just do it all myself. And that's really amazing. So I'm in marketing. I've done a lot of operations. I've always had people that are better. But this is really amazing because everyone can be able to access this data. And there's opendata.gov. There's lots of different things where this can be really approachable for everything. So I think that's it. Time's up.